Welcome to the ballpark. Wasatch High School baseball this morning on 94.5 The Peak and HeberValleyRadio.com. Tyler Barrett here with Tyler Moss. This is the Dairy King pregame show as Wasatch will have two more games today. Went 0-2 yesterday. Their two games against River are now 1-5 on the season. Because you do have the diamond here. Then 4-0 on the season, has failed to lose a game so far this year. They've been close games, but it has been an undefeated season so far for the Lone Peak Knights. And Wasatch, that's the task they have this morning in order to try to get that second.
Here, Tyler, for Wasatch, who needs to bounce back after a tough game yesterday. Talking with Lone Peak's head coach earlier before the game here, he said this is a team with a lot of talent, but he doesn't feel like they put it together quite yet. And that's saying something with a team that's undefeated, right? 4-0. Haven't put it together, but they're going to have their hands full with Jack and Bolander on the mound here today.
Again, you're listening to Wasatch High School baseball. We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll have your Mountain Refined opening pitch right after this.
Hey, welcome to the Bucks Ace Invitational here at Snow Canyon, sponsored by Bucks Ace locations, one in Hurricane St. George and now in Santa Clara, Utah.
Welcome back to Snow Canyon High School. You're listening to 94.5 HeberValleyRadio.com. Tyler Barrett here with Tyler Moss. Wasatch set to take on Lone Peak in their third game of the Bucks Ace Invitational Tournament at Snow Canyon High School. Your Dairy King starting lineup for the Wasps. Drew Erickson will lead it off for the Wasps, playing in left field. Chet Wilson batting second will play third. Payton Swapp will be in center field. Cole Zimmerman will be playing at first base. Jack Bluth at second. Kelson Stocking behind the dish. Jackson Bolender will be on the mound for the Wasps. Zach Pinner will be starting in right field. And Carter Bucad, the sophomore, will get the start at shortstop.
Yeah, Tyler, it's a pretty good lineup here. We've seen Wasatch mix it up every single game this year, and you're seeing a little bit more of that here today with the Wasps. They are starting to settle in. It looks like you've seen Crew Erickson towards the top of the lineup more consistently. And that was something it looked like they weren't quite sure where they wanted to go in the beginning of the year. They've tried Payton Swapp up there at the top of the lineup. It looks like he's going to settle into that 3-hole where he's hit most of his career. Crew Erickson, who's hitting just below 500 on the season, has settled into that leadoff spot, and that's a great spot for Crew. If he can continue to play there, Tyler, he's got he's got a good combination. He can hit a gap. He's got power. He's got a lot of speed. He's a base threat anytime he gets on there to steal some bags and really move around. So it's nice to have those two at the top producing. And Chet Wilson, out of 7 at-bats yesterday, got on base all 7 times, 4 hits, 3 base on balls. And so those top 3 are really, really good for Wasatch so far over the course of the season. And then looking down the rest of the lineup, you're looking at other guys that have really performed pretty well in their opportunities. Jackson Bolender, very limited in his opportunities so far this year, but he's hitting over 500 in 2 games as well over there at the plate. And it seems like a couple other bats are starting to come along a little bit. Cole Zimmerman, Jack Bluth, both getting some knocks early on in this tournament and looking good. Down at the bottom, a couple names that you're curious to see how they perform here today. Zach Pinter and Carter Bucat. Carter, a sophomore, has really kind of struggled to find his way at the plate. Played a great shortstop, but hasn't quite found his way at the plate yet, Ty. And Zach Pinter, in his very limited opportunities, has found a way to get on base as well.
Mountain Refined, from design to project completion, our team excels in understanding and implementing your specific lifestyle and taste preferences into your interior design. Come into our showroom in order to find a beautiful furniture, bedding, mattresses, decor, and so much more. Crew Erickson will lead it off for the Wasps. The Wasps will be the designated visiting team. On the mound for Lone Peak today, it is senior Billings. 2 Ks and a 9.33 ERA in the early season. He's going to throw, but then comes back with a strike. Again, a lefty for Lone Peak. Ty, as I throw it over to you, some thoughts on your Country Garden and Nursery, the only one-stop shop for everything garden and yard related in the Heber Valley. Stop in on their indoor plant shop for the plant of the month. Keys to the game for the Wasps.
About the 16 and that's mix. Gotta find a way. 2 outs, locked down, and got focused. That was the struggle yesterday. They got the 2 outs. Now batting 4 different pitchers that came in. Out, it's scoring runs, 2 outs, getting off the line. Runners in scoring position.
Crew Erickson going to strike out looking on a pitch on the inside for the plate that he thought was a ball. Chet Wilson now comes up to the plate for the Wasps. He's going to be behind the fastball. It's going to be a high hopper to third base. Third baseman fields it, throws it to first. Oh, but it's high, and Chet Wilson will be on base for the Wasps, reaching on an error as he continues to be perfect on finding a way to get on base. That's going to bring up the senior Payton Swapp, 267 on the year, 3 RBIs and a homer. Pick off over here to Chet, and he gets back in time. 2 homers on the year. Payton Swapp is 1 for 5 in the tournament with a bomb that he hit against Riverton in the first game of the tournament. Billings sets, delivers from again the left-hand side, swung on and fouled off straight back into the backstop. Gordon Law Group stat check. Sorry to cut you off, Ty. Wasatch comes into the game, 307 batting average, 411 on base percentage. I think this is a key stat, though, 290 with runners in scoring position. So the batting average has dropped a little bit with runners in scoring position. That's a stat that you want to be a little bit higher than your normal batting average. That stat of the game brought to you by the Gordon Law Group, your full-service local law firm practicing in all areas of the law. They take pride in saying, yeah, we do that. Another pickoff move over to Chet. Now he'll deliver. Curveball this time. It's going to be hit hard down the third base, but foul. And that's going to move the count to 1-2.
Yeah, Ty, and those pickoff attempts at Chet, something to keep your eye on. Yesterday, 4 times. He was on base 7, as we pointed out. 4 of those 7 he was picked off. Or I guess 3 times picked off. And the 4th time he ran into an out at third base that was not a forced out. So that's an area of improvement, I guess, bringing that up. That's an area that Wasatch needs to improve a little bit on.
Another pitch on the inside part of the plate. Same spot the crew Erickson gets rung up on, and Payne's going to get rung up on it as well. So 2 strikeouts looking here in the first inning. Billings a good fastball from the left-hand side, also throws a curveball. But right now he's done a good job of just locating on the inside and outside part of the plate against Wasatch here in the top of the first. No score, Chet Wilson on first base. Brings up Cole Zimmerman. Hard fastball in there for a strike for the opening pitch against Cole. Cole comes in 211 batting average, 3 RBIs and a double, 1 for 6 so far in this tournament here at Snow Canyon. Cole playing first base.
Back-to-back strikeouts on the inside part of the plate, Tyler. Another pickup attempt over here on Chet Wilson. Unsuccessful. But you get a lefty, and he's got a good little two-seam, which it looks like he does. He started that ball in at the knees of the right-handed hitters and let that ball tail back over on the inside part of the plate. The way he throws both Erickson and Swapp on that leads you to believe that he's got a nice action there.
Curveball is going to be low, making the count 1-1.
That pitch is not as much of a weapon when you're going against lefties here. So having that may be a little more difficult if I were the hitter, having one coming on your hands. But if you get the hands out in front, you catch that ball before it starts tailing into you and lanes, which obviously is what you want to do mechanically on an inside pitch, and you get the hands out and barrel through the ball. It's just a little bit less effective on those hitters.
Swings at a fastball up in the zone. Swung on and missed. Now he comes back with another fastball. Serena Williams did, Ty. That's like when I drive on the golf course. So we did a little grunt, and it's up in the zone, making the count 2-2. Billings with a good fastball, though. Throwing from the left-hand side, the 2-2. Low and outside. Brings up a full count. Chet should be in motion here. Full count, 2 outs.
Both teams wearing their black uniforms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt type look. It's going to be a high ground ball, but it's going to bounce right into the first baseman's glove. First baseman today for Lone Peak is Comer. And Wasatch goes down. No runs on no hits. 1 error by Lone Peak. 1 left on base. And that's going to do it for the top half of the first. We'll bring it back with the bottom of the first after this.
Says it's full.
Welcome back to the bottom half of the first. It's time for your Bank of Utah Who's Hot in the starting lineup. Bank of Utah's specialty is relationships. And Ty, you've already mentioned some of them, and I'm just going to go right to the number 1 and 2 hitters that are on this team for Wasatch. Crew Erickson comes into the game hitting .421 with 6 RBIs. Chet Wilson .471 with 7 RBIs. 13 RBIs between the 2 leadoff guys for the Wasps.
That's pretty good, Tyler. But together they're only halfway to Paige Armendariz of the softball
That's
team,
true.
right? Who had 25 RBIs and 7 home runs in 8 games. And so just to highlight a player who's on the softball side of things, who's probably the hottest hitter in the state across softball and baseball, Tyler. She's right. It doesn't get much hotter than Chet Wilson in this tournament. All 8 at bats, he's found a way to get on base. On that hits, he's got a knock on the quads. But Chet Wilson especially, he's just finding a way to get on the base. Another great tool to have at your disposal.
Jackson Bolander on the mound for the Wasps today. Jackson Bolander comes in 4 2/3 innings pitched in his first outing against Desert Hills a couple weekends ago. 9.0 ERA. Did have 6 Ks and gave up 8 hits in that one. Has the baby blue glove. Leadoff hitter that he'll face is going to be McChesney. Center fielder, 385, 3 RBIs, and has a bomb so far this season for Peak, a junior. Bolender sets, delivers a fastball inside, but he gets the inside. So the umpires are putting that inside part. I think that's a little bit off. The 0-1, low, and he gets it. And so if he's getting that, it could be a good day for Jackson Bolender, which brings us to our Point S Tires who breaks out today. And you'd love to see Jackson Bolender, who struggled a little bit against Desert Hills, have a breakout game here against a good 6A opponent. High fastball, but there you see just the physicalness of these 6A opponents. That's a good fastball up in the zone, and McChesney goes up and gets it, and he's going to single up the middle on a line drive.
Now batting number 10, Jordan Fry.
It's going to bring up the senior second baseman, who's going to take a ball one. McChesney's going to try to steal second, and he's going to be able to do it. Pitch was low and outside, tough pitch is still on, and now just like that, Lone Peak has a guy in scoring position. Wasatch has given up a run in every first inning this season except for the Skyline game yesterday.
Yeah, and that's the one you don't want to replicate.
No.
Right? So you're saying it's not
Yeah, not too bad. Give up a run.
bad news. You give up on the first inning.
Little pause in the action. McChesney's going to have to take some jewelry off. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the first. Wasatch went down in the top of the first with no runs in. Chet was able to reach on an error, 2 Ks by both Crew Erickson and Payton Swapp, and then a ground out to the first baseman by Cole Zimmerman is where we stand here. You're listening to Wasatch Baseball, early morning action. Wasatch will have one more game probably around 4 o'clock, 3:30 or 4. It's scheduled for 3, but these tournaments always seem to be behind, and so I'm thinking that Wasatch will probably play their second game around 4 o'clock. A little bit of an update on the tournament so far. Lone Peak comes in 2-0, knocked off in their games. Riverton, and got a win against Salem Hills last night, 2-0. Imagine Salem Hills 0-2 in this tournament, but that's what they are. They lost 2-0 to Lone Peak, and then got walked off by Snow Canyon last night in the nightcap. Salem Hills had a no-hitter against this Lone Peak team going into, I believe, the 5th inning, and then Lone Peak was able to push 2 runs across late in that ball game. 2-0 count as Jackson Bollander misses with a curveball there. Bubbles takes a look at 2 looks at the guy at second base. Now delivers fastball low, but doesn't get the call on that one. Got the call on the first batter on that one, doesn't here. So 3-0. Yeah, that's a low pitch, and it's going to be tough for both teams to hit that pitch with 2 good pitchers on the mound. If they're getting that ball that's just below the knees, it's a tough pitch to hit. 3-1 count.
You get on the mound, though, and you're humming, you're in a rhythm, and you're consistently popping, something like that, you're more likely to get the call. You got a base runner, you got to slow it down with the takes and looks, and there's just not enough to get that call.
2 looks again from Bubbles. He's going to deliver the 3-1 curveball off the edge of the plate to the outside. And the first 2 hitters are on. Single by the leadoff guy, and now a walk. And Lone Peak's in business with nobody out. Guys on first and second.
Now batting number 20, Cade Gamble.
UCCU, the spark of the game, is proudly sponsored by UCCU, serving Utah from Salt Lake County to Juab County. Local UCCU branch manager Braden Duke and his team love serving the Heber Valley and the Heber community. Easy in-person and online services for all your financial needs. UCCU, love where you bank. Another pause in the action because of jewelry. Umpires are going to be strict on that in this game today. Tyler, any thoughts on who sparks this Wasatch team today?
Well, yeah, I think it's going to be Jackson Bollander. I think he'll stop the pitching, and Jackson's the kind of guy you want out here. And I know the first inning so far, the first 2 batters on, that might sound a little bit funny, but we've seen enough of this kid over the last 3+ years that he's a bulldog out there. And these 2 runners aren't going to intimidate him out there. And you get into a situation like this, Tyler, and now you got 3, 4, 5 coming on. That's a spark, and that gets the team rolling. And so I'm kind of looking for Jackson Bollander to be that spark here on the mound.
It's going to be Gamble, a senior, only hitting 167. He's had a slow start to the season, does have 3 RBIs. He plays shortstop, hits on this left-hand side, takes a strike on the first pitch, now a ball on the second. Again, that low strike. Jackson continues to get it. 1-1 the count, nobody out. Guys on first and second. Wasatch, no runs in the top of the first. Lone Peak looking to take the lead here in the bottom of the first. Delivers, swung on, hard ground ball. It's in between shortstop and third base. One run's going to come in. Fry's going to go from first to third, and another single. So 2 singles and a walk, and Lone Peak is on the board, up 1-0 in the bottom half of the first.
That's a good piece of hitting there, Tyler. Hard ground ball, and that's one of those balls that, you know, if it's 5 more feet over to the right, that's a double play ball there from Jackson. But just a nice piece of hitting to hit that ball hard and not give the shortstop a chance to get over and field it.
First and third now, still nobody out. It's going to bring up the junior Hodson, third baseman for Lone Peak, hitting .417 on the year, 4 RBIs and 4 doubles in their 4 games.
Now batting number 21, Caden Hudson.
Ty, we've talked about the bats here for Wasatch that have been hot over the first 6 games of the season.
Kelson's going to stab at a ball in the dirt. It's going to get by him, so that's going to bring in the second run. Also, Gamble's going to advance from first to second. So 1-0 count, and just like that, Wasatch has fallen behind 2-0 here against Lone Peak.
Finish that thought. I was going to ask you who is your point as defensive standouts that you can think of on this Wasatch baseball team so far.
I think the outfield's played good, Ty. I can't think of any. Tragan Shaw had a great diving catch. Threw out a guy in the Desert Hills tournament. Tragan Shaw's the one. There's another curveball's in there. Check swing does not go, so that makes the count 2-0. Hudson, tall player here, again playing third base for Lone Peak today. No look delivery, low in the count, makes the count 3-0.
You know, another player that comes to my mind that's been very good defensively for Wasatch has been Jack Bluth. He's had a couple plays at second base with really good range. Jack showing some quickness off the bat. Yesterday he made a backhand play that was on the shortstop side of second base. Him being the second baseman made a lot of range to get over to that ball, and then zipped it over to first base where Cole Zimmerman also had a really nice play to pick it out of the dirt. But those are a couple names that I think are deserving in this tournament. Tragan Shaw has played very well in right field, and he's got an outfield assist in the previous tournament, Tyler, and then Jack Bluth has made a lot of plays at second.
3-1 fastball is going to be grounded to the shortstop. Carter Bucad continues to stay consistent, throws it across the diamond to Cole Zimmerman, and Wasatch has their first out of the game as they get Hodson to ground out to the shortstop. Carter Bucad does move the runner from second to third, so with 1 out here in the bottom of the first, Gamble is on third base. It's going to bring up the pitcher, Billings, hitting .200 on the year with 3 RBIs, a senior. Also going to hit from the left-hand side, so a lot of lefties in the lineup for Lone Peak.
Yeah, that at-bat for Hodson's very productive, Tyler, even though he got out. The high chopper allowing the runner on second to advance with less than 2 outs. That's actually a big baseball deal there, getting the runner over to third base. These runners on third score, I believe it's over 90% of the time when you're on third base with less than 2 outs.
Fastball's in there for a strike to lead off the at-bat against Billings. Delivers again. This one's going to be low in the dirt. Kelson does a better job of smothering that. Brings the count to 1-1. The one change in the lineup that we've seen from the previous is Zach Pinner does get the start in right field. We saw him and Tragan Shaw both rotate in the Desert Hills tournament. He gets his first start of this tournament here this morning. Fastball up in the zone, and that's driven right up the middle for another base knock. 3 singles for Lone Peak, and then results in 3 runs. Nice piece of hitting once again there by Billings. Now that's going to bring up Heaton, junior left fielder, only hitting .07 on the season.
Yeah, tight hit. Things and hitting it hard back up the middle. Jackson, when he's missing, though, when he's getting hit, some players kind of tightened up a little bit on the last few hitters where he felt like he's had to come up and elevate a little bit more. But Lone Peak is not missing. Oh. It's the defining characteristic here in this one is Wasatch had a couple up in the zone that they missed on. And right now, Lone Peak is not.
Another pass ball is going to advance the runner from first to second, speed up runner for Lone Peak. Wasatch again down 3-0, giving them 3 runs here in the bottom half of the first. One 1-0 count to Bolander. having to throw a lot of pitches early on in this ball game. Takes a couple of looks, delivers. It's going to go off the hands to Jack Bluth. Jack Bluth's going to come through it. Wasatch has 2 outs. Jack Bluth throws the out a little bit high, but the tall Cole Zimmerman's able to handle it with his foot on the bag. And now with 2 outs, Lone Peak has a guy on third base. Runner does advance from second to third. And that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Tenney.
Number 15, Dane
333 batting average with 2 RBIs.
Well, it's nice to have 6'4" first base one time. That ball came out high, but Cole Zimmerman, I believe the tallest player on this team, Jackson Sorensen, may give him a bit of a run himself, but I think Zimmerman's got him by an inch or two, and he had to use most of that to go up and get that ball and stay on the bag.
Got the ball in the dirt for ball 1. Stocking does a good job smothering it. Bolander sets, delivers the 1-0. Swung on and fouled straight back to the backstop. Brings the count to 1-1.
You mentioned the pitch count, Tyler, and you're right. That's something to already be concerned about. That's pitch number 23 of the first inning for Jackson Bolender. Coach Jacobson and Coach Watkins and I were talking before the game about the pitch count rules. High school pitch count rules limit what you can do from day to day depending on the number of pitches that you have, Tyler. And so with yesterday, trying to make sure that they're on the same page of how many pitches are available to run pitches yesterday.
Changeup gets Tenney swinging. So that's going to make the count 1-2. Wasatch trying to get out of the bottom of the first. Haven't already give up 3. He goes with a curveball and gets him swinging. First, physical at the pit stop, strike out of the game. Physical at the Pit Stop, your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic, serving you from head to toe, including vertigo to sports injury, serving the Heber Valley for over 40 years. Lone Peak gets 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors for the Wasps, and they do leave 1 man on base. It's going to bring up the top of the second. Jack Bluth, Kelson Stocking, Jackson Bolander up for the Wasps. Welcome back to the start of the second inning. Second inning brought to you by Wasatch Back Flooring and Paint. From the words of Wasatch Back's customers, from start to finish, the entire transaction was honest, professional, and meticulous. Highly recommend Wasatch Back Flooring and Paint. Thanks, Dan, and your team. It's going to bring up Jack Bluth. He's going to take a ball 1. A little bit of Wasp history. Coach Reed Seacrest, the head coach here at Snow Canyon University, his first year was that game that Wasatch had against Snow Canyon in 2005. That was his first year at Snow Canyon, and he knew all the details. He recognized you had the big fella that hit a ball into the parking lot, and then Guy Meekum, sophomore that year, had a great double down the line, down the first baseline that scored the winning run in that game, and he knew all the details. The great ones do, Ty. 18 years ago and still knew all the details of that game.
Yeah, and we need to back up a little bit for our listeners that maybe weren't listening yesterday when we talked about that. Wasatch hasn't played a ton of games at Snow Canyon, but in 2005, when they did the old mini tournaments, and Wasatch was one of the 4 teams that came down to the mini tournament because of a coin flip loss. They actually tied with Uinta for first place in Region 10 that year. Let you call this one time, then I'll finish that thought.
Yeah, Jack Bluth's going to swing at a 3-1 pitch behind the fastball again. It's going to just go right back to the pitcher. Billings is going to step, throw it over to first, and Wasatch's Jack Bluth goes down with a ground out.
So Wasatch went 9-1 in Region 10 play that year, but they lost the coin flip for the first place tie, and they ended up having to come down to Snow Canyon in their mini tournament rather than hosting the mini tournament and facing off against Snow Canyon, who was ranked number 1 in the state that year. And in the second game of that tournament, Wasatch and Snow Canyon were the 2 undefeated teams in the mini tournament, and Wasatch got the, if you will, quote-unquote upset win over Snow Canyon in that one, in large part because of that sequence you just talked about, the Zach Larson home run in the 6th inning. Guy Meekum, only a sophomore that year, turned out to be a great shortstop and player for Wasatch. And Wasatch got the big upset win over Snow Canyon in Coach Seacrest's first year.
This ball's going to be in the dirt, and it's going to get the umpire, and it buckled him, Ty. I'm not sure where it got him, but he's in pain. This pause in the action is going to be brought to you by Mirror Lake Station, voted best donuts in Utah. The Mirror Lake Station is your stop for gas, groceries, and goodies. New owners David and Kristen Wade invite you to swing by and say hello this season at Mirror Lake Station. I think he got his hand.
Yeah, you got a lot of gear back there, Tyler, but there's a few spots that are open up. Kind of, he's holding his hand down by the inside thigh as well, and so I'm not sure which one it was down there, but yeah, he looks to be a little banged up there on that one, Ty.
Yeah, I'm not. That was a good fastball that was in the dirt, and the catcher kind of, instead of blocking it with nobody on base, just kind of stabbed at it, and when he moved his shoulder, that opened up that left hand.
Ty, both these pitchers too have some high velocity in this game. This is coming nice and hard over from the left side of the plate here from Lone Peak's Billings, who's starting on the mound. You're going to have upper 80s there with Billings, and then Jackson Bolender also coming with the upper 80s on this one. So a couple good pitchers out here on the mound today between this Lone Peak-Wasatch matchup. If you're just joining us, Lone Peak has jumped out to a 3-0 lead after the first inning of play. And Wasatch is going to need to rally back in this one, but that's something they've done before. As you talked about, Tyler, in 5 out of their 6 games, they've given up first-inning runs and have battled back to get leads in most of those games.
Down 3-0, 1 out here in the top of the second. Brings up Kelson Stocking, senior, 273 batting average on the year, 1 RBI and a double. He's 1 for 3 in the Snow Canyon tournament. Takes strike 1, moving the count. Is that 2-1 or 1-1?
2-1 is where we're at.
Again, Billings, big lefty on the mound for Lone Peak, had an RBI single in the first inning. Now on the mound, yet to give up a hit. Hard fastball, looked pretty good, and that's going to move the count to 2-2.
The last time Wasatch played Lone Peak was in 2006, and they got a win against a big lefty that ultimately got drafted, if memory serves me correctly, Tyler. The series is low, only 1-1 between the two teams. They've only faced off twice before this meeting here today. Wasatch getting the win in 2006 against the Knights, who had another hard-throwing lefty that was 90-plus.
This ball is going to be down in the dirt,
Got
and
him
I
again.
think it got him again. Full count now, and the poor umpire. This is only the first inning, Ty, of game 1.
Yeah.
He got 6 games today. I don't think the umpires are going to do all 6, but
I'm curious to see if he starts shifting where
Yeah.
he sets up a little bit, Ty, which can change the way pitchers get calls as well.
full count. Billings out of the windup, misses, and Kelson Stocking gets on base. Second base runner of the game for Wasatch. Chet Wilson was able to reach first base on an error by the third baseman in the top half of the first. Now Kelson Stocking will get to advance to first on the walk. That's going to bring up the pitcher, Jackson Bolander.
Well, the last time Jackson gave up early first inning runs, Tyler, he stepped in the box and hit the first pitch he saw out of the ballpark.
Yeah, 571 batting average, 1 home run on the year, 1 for 2 so far in this tournament. And that one hit after hitting the bomb was an infield base hit on a bunt.
Yeah,
First pitch is going to be high.
Pretty bunt, Tyler, that he laid down last time. He handles the bat pretty well up there. He can bunt it, he can swing it, and actually he's got a lot of power to the opposite side of the field. He can drive the ball the other way.
1-0 is going to throw over to Kelson Stocking. Good lead by Stocking. The pickoff move not in time. Bubbles will go back up into the box. Out of the stretch, 1-0, delivers, fastball. It's going to be a base hit through the 3-4 hole. Stocking's going to go from first to third, and Wasatch has their first hit of this game as Jackson Bolander has a ground ball through the right side of the infield. And Wasatch is in business with runners on first and third with 1 out. Going to bring up the right fielder, senior Zach Pinter.
Yeah, right on cue, Jackson Bolander punches the ball the other way, Tyler, and he's really a nice weapon to have in this game because when you've got a left-handed pitcher, the ball has a tendency to tail away from the hitter. And so you want some hitters that are comfortable driving the ball the other way, and that's one of the strengths of Jackson Bolander is he can really drive the ball well to the opposite side of the field, and he did that there. And with first and third, less than 2 outs, you expect at least to put a run on the board, but you're getting greedy and thinking for multiple runs in this inning if you're Wasatch.
First and third, 1 out. Coach Jacobson remembers that Bubbles is pitching, and so they're going to go ahead.
Well, I can see you over here doing the same signal, Tyler, and you're sitting on top of the dugout right across from Coach Jacobson, so you can stand up and signal those here a little bit. It's fun. I'm gonna throw you under the bus here for a second. For our listeners that don't know, you were the head coach for Wasatch over the last handful of years, and luckily on the radio people don't have cameras on us all the time because having coached these guys for the last several years, you're over here signaling things and trying to, you're looking at the dugout saying, why is our speed up not ready with the helmet already? And you're not saying any of this out loud, but I can see that's what's going on in your mind right now.
First and third, 1 out. Zach Penner's going to take strike 1. The 0-1 is down in the dirt. Tad's got to take that one. Doesn't do so, and it's going to improve the count to 1-1. Pinter on the year, .375 batting average. Had an at-bat yesterday against Riverton, in which he did not reach base, so 0 for 1 in this tournament. Again, has played half of the games. Another fastball on the inside. Doesn't get that called strike, and so it's going to move the count to 2-1. I think the catcher was a little surprised because they had gotten that pitch earlier in the ballgame against Crew and Payton.
I was surprised as well, Todd. I thought that was a pretty good pitch compared to what the umpire's been calling, but when you're the Lone Peak catcher and let the umpire get hit twice this inning, maybe going to miss a call or two.
Tad's going to get picked off at first base. Wasatch continues to struggle on the base pass as another hitter gets picked off. But Tad does a great job of staying in a pickle, and that allows Kelson Stocking to break for home. So despite the second out, Tad does do a good job of avoiding getting out quickly on the base pass, and it allows Kelson Stocking to eventually break and get home as Wasatch has their first run on the board, making the score 3-1.
Yeah, Tyler, that spot on again, the way you talked about it. Tad wasn't looking and got picked off, didn't watch that back shoulder of the lefty, but did a good enough job to stay in the rundown long enough, and Wasatch played it perfectly. So what you want to do if you're Wasatch getting picked off there is force a throw to the first baseman, but with enough distance between the runner that the first baseman then has to chase the runner back towards second, and that way the first baseman is moving away from home plate. So when the third base runner, Kelson Stocking, breaks towards home, the first baseman would have to plant, turn, and fire with momentum going against it. It does make the play significantly harder. And so by Tad forcing that one extra throw to move him in that direction, that's what allowed Wasatch to get that run.
Pinter works the count to full. He's going to swing and foul off a fastball on the outside. And we're going to reset. Full count, 2 outs, nobody on base. Wasatch does get 1 run across here in the top of the second, thanks to a walk by Kelson Stocking, a single by Jackson Bolander. And now fastball that buckles Zach Pinter, and that's going to do it for the top half of the second. Wasatch scores 1 run on 1 hit, no errors by Lone Peak, nobody left on base. We'll move to the bottom half of the second after this.
You're listening to Wasatch High School Athletics, Wasatch Baseball in action this morning against Lone Peak High School. That run that Wasatch scores in the top of the second inning is brought to you by Wasatch Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, your rehabilitation specialist dedicated to your total recovery from sports injuries, auto injuries, industrial and or commercial injuries. Let Dan Ivey and his team get you back to 100%. And your bonus score and log group stat of the game so far, Tyler, really the stat of the tournament. This is not a good stat, is going to kind of reflect some negative things. Wasatch has been picked off 6 times on the base paths in 2 games and 1.5 innings here, Tyler. So really, in fact, if you do the inning breakdown, it's only been 14 innings in this tournament Wasatch has played, and they have been picked off 6 times already in this tournament alone. And they had multiple pickoffs in the tournament before. They're already 10 pickoffs on the season on the bases in 6 games. Not a stat that is a pretty stat for the Wasatch baseball team.
It's going to bring up the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the second, Comer, 286 batting average. He's going to swing and miss at an off-speed pitch on first pitch of the inning, but now swings at a fastball up in the zone, and once again an up-the-middle line drive single for Lone Peak, their 4th hit of the game, and it's all been line drives up the middle. It's going to bring up
your
Robinson.
Yeah, 9-hitter. Coach just came in and had a conversation. Bunt is certainly on the table.
First at bat of the season for Robinson, playing right field today for the Knights. Comer, the first baseman, on first base, nobody out. Chet Wilson, Carter Bucad, Jack Bluth, and Cole Zimmerman, your infield today for the Wasps, has been your starting infield every single game. Pretty good lead from Comer. It's going to be a pickoff move from Bubbles. A little high on the throw, and Comer gets in there safely. Robinson will reset again. A little bit of a unique situation here. Lone Peak and Wasatch both wearing black uniforms. Wasatch wearing their new all-black uniforms. This ball is going to be elevated to shallow center field. Payton Swapp's going to settle underneath it, makes the easy catch, and that's going to bring up the top of the order for Lone Peak.
Ty, I want to come back to this pickoff conversation here, and you might be wondering a little bit why that's such a big deal. Baseball is a unique sport when compared to sports like football or basketball, where you've got a clock that is kind of the rule of when the game ends, and it's not that way in baseball. In baseball, everyone gets a certain number of outs, and so outs are the precious thing when it comes to a baseball game. And when you get on base, that's obviously that's how you score. That's how you win in baseball. And so when you're on base, you don't want to give away these precious outs on base running. You know, you want to make the other team have to earn it by getting you out at the plate. And so Wasatch already having 6 outs on the base paths alone in this first 2+ games here in this tournament is a big deal. It's something these players are going to need to tighten up a little bit on and just not be so casual with the way the outs are being given away on the base paths.
1-1 count after ball 1, and then a swing and a miss on the second pitch. Guy on first here for Lone Peak in the bottom half of the second. Bolander takes a peek. Now he's going to step off the back of the mound and reset. Top of the order here for Lone Peak. First time up, McChesney had a single up the middle. Again, had any good year so far. 385 batting average, 3 RBIs, and a home run. The 1-1, low, makes the count 2-1. Outfield today for the Wasps. Crew Erickson playing in left, Payton Swapp in center, and Zach Pinter gets the start in right field today for the first time in this tournament. 2-1. Good changeup.
Really good changeup.
I mean, it's just a pitch that frustrates the hitters, and he's really frustrated himself on that one. That brings the count to 2-2.
Well, I think he thought he had it, and he wasn't close. He swung over that ball before it even got to the batter's box. Made him look silly.
2-2. And curveball low and inside, and that's going to bring up a full count with 1 out.
It's one of the most painful things to do in sports when you think you've got a ball timed up and lined up, and you just swing over it and miss by such a significant margin. It just hurts you as a hitter.
Full count pitch. Swung on, fouled off. Again, another off speed. A lot of off speed to McChesney in this at bat after he laced the fastball up the middle in his first.
Yeah, got him to 0-2 and tried to go high on him. Probably not where you want to go here on this one.
Lone Peak's been able to handle that pitch. It's about at the belt and above for most of this game. Bubble sets, runner goes, full count pitch, and this one's elevated to center field. It's got a chance. Payton back to the warning track and does make the catch. Gets it in quickly. The hit and run opportunity for Lone Peak fails as Wasatch gets the second out of the inning. That ball was close, didn't get all of it, and was too high to get over, but did go all the way to the warning track.
Yeah, Ty, that carried. You're right. He had a chance to put that one over the deepest part of the park. Payton did a good job, though, of settling, filling the warning track and backing up cautiously right up to the base of the fence to make the call. Or catch, excuse me.
Going to bring up the second baseman, senior Fry, 6 RBIs, 2 doubles on the season, walked in his first at bat. Wasatch trying to get out of the inning without any runs given up. Fastball outside. They're going to try to pick off. Comer at first. Comer able to get it back easily. Good throw from Stocking to Zimmerman. Wasatch. Bubbles falls down 1-0 to the number 2 hitter Fry. Fry gets back into the box. Wasatch shading a little bit side of the field. Another off-speed pitch as they've got Lone Peak swinging now on some off-speed stuff. And we talked about it yesterday with Applegate, the Riverton pitcher that came in to relieve, that he started to land the curveball and just throws high school hitters off when you can land 2 pitches for strikes. Bubbles has been able to land the changeup for a strike as well. That should help Bubbles as he settles into this ballgame.
Yeah, the changeup is a weapon, Tyler, because once you get it in the hitter's mind as well, they start having to think about it, and then your fastball becomes that much more effective and sneaky.
The 1-1 in the dirt. Comer does not go.
So this is an important sequence the second time through the lineup, and I'm glad to see Jackson's doing this right now, is he's giving each hitter that changeup to think about. He's showing it to them, which can become a little problematic the third time through the lineup, but you're going to put that in your mind, and then he's going to be more effective with that fastball. I think you'll see going on through the lineup the third time.
The 2-1. Again, low. Oh, man,
that's
they call that a strike. That's I don't think that's a strike. I'm just going to say it how it is. I don't think that's a strike. 2-2 now the count. 2 outs. Runner on first for Lone Peak. Nobody scored here in the bottom of the second for the Knights. Did get 3 in the bottom half of the first, making the score 3-1. Bubbles delivers. Runner goes. Strikeout. Ends both of the first and second inning with the strikeout. Again, your strikeouts brought to you by Physical at the Fit Stop. Locally owned and operated.
What you saw there, though, is exactly what we're talking about. Fastball gets more sneaky when all of a sudden you're thinking about the off-speed changeup, and that fastball blew by the hitter there on that one. You're going to see Bolander start to become a little bit more effective, a little more locked in moving forward.
Lone Peak scores, no runs on 1 hit, no errors. Do leave 1 on base. It's Bucad, Erickson, and Wilson up for the Wasps in the top half of the third.
At Snow Canyon High School, or Wasatch baseball is taking on Lone Peak High School. Wasatch trailing 3-1 to the Lone Peak Knights. Third inning action brought. Napa stocks and many for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming. Up on into Wasatch Napa Auto Parts today. Wasp right now to start the top of the third inning is sophomore Carter Bucad. Going to be a strike on Bucad. Pitch comes in as Bucad's started it for Wasatch throughout the entire season. So far this year, all 6 games there for Bucad. 1 pitch comes in high. It was an off-speed pitch. Billings sets, goes from the windup, throws this one all the way to the backstop over the umpire's head. And Bucad runs the count to 3-1. Should be able to hunt a pitch that is within his zone that he likes. If you're the hitter, you usually want to be hunting a fastball here. Billings does come back with a fastball, and again he missed high. So 4 straight balls from Billings to Bucad, and Bucad with a little bit of speed as well leads off and gets down to first base for Wasatch. Wasatch brings the tying run to the plate in Crew Eric, and we're back to the top of the lineup here. Crew hitting .427 on the season. Has a great start to the year. He, again, has started every game in left field as well for Wasatch, so he's been a consistent staple here in the lineup for the Wasps. Pickoff attempt to first base for Bucad. And, again, that's hard for these runners because you got a left-handed pitcher on the mound, and it's just a little bit more sneaky. You got to know what to look for. And often you look for that back shoulder, which will indicate when that pitcher's coming over.
Nice little drag bunt here from Crew Erickson, but too hard. It's going to go to the third baseman, who's going to do a great job of throwing on the run. Does move the runner over, though. Good bunt there from Crew. And the sacrifice now has Bucad on second base.
Yeah, Tyler, he got that one pretty hot. That might have been the best barrel he's had all year. I think hit that barrel hard. And Bucad had a chance. No one went over and covered third base for Lone Peak. They were bringing the first baseman was charging, third base was coming to field it as well, and no one was over at third base. And it was a little bit of a foot race. Shortstop recognized it when Bucad got to second, and he went on a full-out sprint. But had Bucad wanted to take a chance there, he may have had an opportunity.
It's going to bring up Chet Wilson, who's the RBI leader for the Wasps so far this year. Came into the game .471, 7 RBIs, has 2 RBIs in this tournament as well. And he's got an RBI opportunity here with 1 out and a guy on second base. Sophomore Bucad takes an okay lead at second base. One look from Billings, delivers, and it's going to be off the edge of the plate for ball 1.
Yeah, he's struggling so far in this inning, Tyler. Out of the first 3 batters he's faced, 4 straight balls over to Bucad after the initial strike. And then Erickson, of course, laying down a bunt on the first one, but now he's missing high again there to Wilson on the first pitch of his at-bat.
The 1-0 delivers, swung on, and it's right back to the pitcher. That looked like it was going to get through. Instead, it doesn't. Good play from the pitcher. And how about this? Ty Carter Bucad hustles and gets to third base on the great hustle play. Lone Peak has not been good in rundown situations so far in this ball game. And Chet Wilson, again, finds his way on to first base. And Bucad does a great job of advancing to third base.
Yeah, that error here, Tyler, is going to go to your third baseman of Hodson, who came off. He just came to receive that ball too far out. He got about 20 feet off the bag in the rundown, and it allowed Bucad to just sneak right on by him and get into third base. So once again, Wilson finds a way to get on a fielder's choice error by Hodson.
It's going to be Payton Swapp now comes up to the plate. 3 RBIs on the season. He's got a chance here with a guy on third base to cut into this 2-run lead in the top half of the third. It's going to be a fastball up in the zone, but he does get the called strike.
Yeah, there's a good spot for Wasatch. You've got your 3-4-5 coming up. Nobody out. Runners on third and first. Have a chance to really crack into this 2-run lead for Lone Peak here.
Bucad on third. Wilson at first.
Swap
the 0-1. Swung on, fouled straight back.
He was frozen on that pitch last time, Tyler, that fastball that they tried to come inside on and tail back. Looked like he was ready for it there. Just missed it.
Yeah, I just missed that fastball. Brings the count to 0-2. 1 out. Runners on first and third. Billings gets the sign, sets, takes a look at Wilson, delivers quickly. Another fastball off the edge of the outside part, and it's going to be ball 1. 1-2 now the count. Maybe an off-speed pitch coming in this one.
Could have been a setup pitch there, hard outside, maybe coming inside, breaking down at the ankles.
Throws the off-speed, but it's up in the zone, makes the count 2-2.
I do think that was the plan there, try to get that curveball to break down at the feet of Swapp. But again, Billings has been missing high in this inning.
2-2 count, 1 out, runners on first and third. Wasatch down 3-1. Pick a move over to Wilson. Wilson able to get back easily. Dorius Dental offers no surprises of dental treatment with Dr. Dorius and Dr. Proctor. Let Dorius Dental make your mouth smile. Learn more at doriusdental.com. The 2-2. Swung on, fouled down the first baseline. Good fastball that Payton was behind on, was able to get a piece, foul off, and lives to see another pitch.
Yeah, that was impressive. Payton even got any of that, Tyler. Looked like he pulled that one out of the catcher's glove when he fouled it off. Fastball certainly had him surprised. Didn't expect to see that one get on him as quick as it did.
2-2. Delivers. Fastball, inside part. Lone Peak thought they got him again on that same pitch. Billings steps off the mound. He's not happy that was called a ball, and that's going to bring up a full count now with 1 out.
Well, he's getting a little bit of the same thing that Jackson Bolander did in the first inning. When you start missing a little bit or you get out of your rhythm, it gets the umpire out of the rhythm as well. And Billings has been a little bit all over in this inning. He's had a few go to the backstop, been missing high. He's not getting those close calls.
Another pickoff move over to Chet. Chet gets back easily once again. I think that's a good pickoff move from Billings just to reset himself. He's got a little emotional after that last pitch, do a pickoff move, reset, and now he's going to deliver the full count. Swung on, and it's going to be a deep fly ball to right field. It's going to be an easy catch. Should be deep enough, though, for the sacrifice fly. Right fielder misjudged it a little bit. It gets him off balance, but it is going to bring in a run. And Payton Swapp with 2 strikes is able to get the sac fly and gets his 4th RBI of the season.
That's a good piece of hitting there from Payton. Really worked the count. Saw a lot of different pitches as well. Fastballs inside, outside, breaking pitches, and ultimately hangs on there and gets a deep fly ball to right field to get that run from Bucad in. So the error on Lone Peak proves costly as Wasatch pushes Bucad across.
So Wasatch cuts into the lead again. They gave up 3 in the the bottom half of the first, but now scores 1 in the second and have scored 1 in the third as well. 2 outs, runner on first with Cole Zimmerman up. Pitch is delivered, fastball in for a strike. 0-1 count.
Both pitchers are pretty high in their pitch count just for the third inning. Billings, that puts him at 50 pitches already on the game.
Bollander sitting at 40 pitches after 2 innings. Zimmerman. Check swings on a curveball in the dirt. And Chet takes it on the ball in the dirt. Good job by Chet of recognizing that ball in the dirt. Is able to advance to second, and now with 2 outs, Wasatch has another guy in scoring position. Zimmerman, 1 of 7 on the year, in the tournament so far. 3 RBIs and has an RBI opportunity.
Well, we talked in the first inning about the country gardens and nursery keys to the game, And this was one of those moments, right? We talked about in pressure situations, you need to step up. This is a pressure spot. Runner in scoring position now, 2 outs. This is a big spot for Cole Zimmerman. See if he can come through here for the Wasps.
1-1 count. Billings is going to step off the back, wants the catcher to reset on the sign.
Base hit here. Chet Wilson should be going on contact. Should be a ball that he can score on.
1-1, low, moves the count to 2-1. Lone Peak playing straight up against Wasatch in the ball game. Second baseman shaded a little bit more to first base. The 2-1. Hits the spot on the outside part of the plate, and that moves the count to 2-2 with 2 outs. Billings, big lefty for Lone Peak. Coming into the game, had only thrown 3 innings. 2-2, it's going to be swung on, and this is going to be a base knock through the 5-6 hole. Chet's going to go ahead and go in for the tying run, and an RBI single for Cole Zimmerman with 2 strikes. How about that? Back-to-back RBIs for Swapp and Zimmerman in 2 strike counts.
Oh, yeah, good job there from Cole there, just hanging in there, serving that ball nice and easy through the 5-6 hole. Chet was on the move again there, Tyler. He had taken off. He thought he had the pitcher timed up, and that kind of moved the third baseman a little bit, who was going over to cover. I don't think it would have made a difference either way on that one. I think that's going to be a base hit from Cole. But how about that? That's a pressure spot, Tyler. Wasatch responds. Cole Zimmerman steps up, and he gets the big 2-out knock with the runner in scoring position to tie this game up.
2 runs here in the top of the third. 3-3 the score. Curveball is going to be in there for Jack. I think that's a little up, but he does get the called strike. Jack Bluth on the season, 267, 2 RBIs, a double, 2 for 7 in the tournament. Did have a double yesterday against Skyline. Grounded out to the pitcher in his first at bat. 0-1. That gets by the catcher, so Zimmerman's going to advance to second base, and another RBI opportunity here for Jack Bluth. 1-1 count.
Yeah, Billings has gotten rattled in this inning, Tyler. He's been all over the place. Looks like he's losing it. Started off the inning again with the strike to Carter Bucad, and it's really been all over the board since that point. 4 straight balls. And he's been missing high consistently with most of his pitches.
Wasatch tied 3-3. Billings is going to step out. You see Billings has got good stuff, but maybe the command, maybe a little bit of fatigue issues for the pitcher for Lone Peak.
I think you're right with that. I think this is a conditioning thing with Billings more than anything. The way he's missing leads you to believe he's getting tired already in this one, and he's not above 60 pitches. You don't want your starters to be getting tired here in the third inning, Ty, and so he may have a few conditioning issues going on right now. Early on in the season, that happens. You got to get the arm warmed up and ready to go for the course of the year.
Jack swings at the 2-1 and misses, bringing the count to 2-2. 2-2, 2 outs. Runner on second. Wasatch has been able to generate 2 runs in this account. And one of the rules that you say is you got to make sure you're safe at third because you don't want to make the last out at third base. Both Chet and Cole running at second base, and now you got a runner on third. Full count.
Well, Tyler, Cole had the best view on the field of that one. He's standing at second base with the lead, and obviously there he saw that ball breaking early into the dirt, got a good secondary hop, and didn't hesitate. Took advantage of it and was able to move himself down to third base.
Jack Blue takes the ball 4 and the full count pitch, and now Wasatch has runners on first and third, and that's going to bring up Kelson Stocking, the catcher. He's going to earn a trip to the mound from the Lone Peak coach. This trip to the mound brought to you by Mirror Lake Station, voted best donuts in Utah. The Mirror Lake Station is your stop for gas, groceries, and goodies. New owners David and Kristen Wade invite you to swing by and say hello this season at Mirror Lake Station up in Camas.
Ty, what head coach, when you went and visited the mound, what are you saying here? What's your go-to conversation? There's a lot of different styles. You can go aggressive and hard and try to snap your pitcher out of it. You can try to keep it light and loose. What did you like to do?
Well, you want to see how and oftentimes you want to have a good enough relationship that the pitcher's honest with you, but you go out and make sure how they're feeling, and if you feel like they're feeling okay and it's just a matter of them settling down, I'd love to go with a joke. Just make a joke, ask them if they wanted any food, if you wanted to go to Domino's and get them a piece of pizza and bring them back. Just try to lighten it up a little bit. It's just how I went at it. I wasn't ever very stern. There's 2 types of trips, right? You go out to talk to the pitcher catcher, but then you can also go out just to pause the team and to get the team focused, where you bring in the whole infield, and those ones are usually a little bit more stern of, hey, you guys need to get back at it. But if it was just pitcher catcher and I knew I was going to leave them in, try to loosen them up a little bit, let them have some fun. Fastball's in there for a strike on Stocking. Stocking walked his first at bat. 1 for 3 in the tournament, 273 batting average on the season. The 0-1 is delivered low. How about you, Ty? I always had you go. Jack Bluth again advances to second base on the ball in the dirt. Wasatch doing a good job on dirt ball reads in this inning. And just like that, Wasatch now has runners on second and third with 2 outs.
Yeah, Ty, what you're saying is spot on, but as a pitcher, you need to know your personnel as well. And there are some that will perform better when you get after them. Jackson Bolander is one of those. If you get a little bit hot on Jackson Bolander, and then there are others that you need to kind of coddle a little bit more and kind of make them feel like they're great. And you need to have them communicate with you. That's a good pitch there, Tyler.
Yeah, Kelson fouled off the 1-1, and then they ran right back in with that tailing fastball and gets him on the inside part of the plate. So Wasatch does tie the game 3-3 in the top half of the third. They score 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 error by Lone Peak, and Wasatch leaves 2 on base. Bottom of the third coming up. Gravity Coalition Offering the best in bikes, skis, snowboards, skateboards, and more in the Heber Valley. Personalized service, sales, and repair for the gear you love. Gravity Coalition in Midway, Utah, or gravitycoalition.com. This is a cool shop. A little bit of a Wasp rewind update. Track team down here at Pineview High School had started their meet today. They'll finish, or yesterday. They'll finish up today. The soccer team, number 1 in 5A, according to Deseret News, traveled down to the number 2 ranked 6A team, Bingham, yesterday, and Wasatch fell in they got their first loss of the season, a tight 1-0 loss to that 6A opponent, Bingham. Still had a good game in that one, and they are now 3-1 on the season.
20,
Ty, how's this for efficiency for Wasatch? Only 2 hits, yet 3 runs on the board. They've taken advantage of some errors, some walks, and they've sacrificed. They've had sack bunts, sack flies. The team's playing fundamental with the small things, and they've got this thing all tied up 3-3, even though they've been out hit 4-2 in the ball game.
He's going to bring up the number 3 hitter to start off the bottom of the third. Gamble, the senior, has had a slow start to the year. Only came in hitting 167. Had 3 RBIs. He did have a RBI single in the first inning. He's going to roll over to the second baseman. Jack Bluth comes over, bobbles, throws it to first, and not in time. That ball was deep in the hole, and Jack Bluth stumbled a little bit, had the ball pop out of his glove, and Gamble from the left side was able to get to first base. Another single. Single?
Yeah, that's a single. That's the only way Jack gets him out is if he fields that clean. And that's a hard ball. He's moving to his glove hand side, but as you pointed out, Ty, that's only 10 feet behind where the first baseman plays, but deep in the hole. He's catching it on the grass, and he just couldn't quite get his feet flipped around to throw it. He was trying to do that while he was moving his body over there. So that'll be an infield single here for the Knights.
It's going to bring up Hodson, the cleanup hitter, junior, 417, coming into the game, 4 RBIs. He grounded out to the shortstop in his first at bat. Bolander's going to miss on the inside, so 1-0 count. Lone Peak has got their first guy on in every inning so far in this ball game. Single, single, single to start off each inning for Lone Peak. Swung on and missed on on the second pitch, bringing the count to 1-1. Bolander sets. 1 look, 2 looks. Now delivers the 1-1. That's low, bringing the count to 2-1. Wasatch had to use a lot of pitchers yesterday. I think they still have everybody at their disposal that didn't start. Did Crew go over his when he was throwing?
No, Crew's right on. But what they do, Tyler, so that pitch count rule, you can only throw 75 between 2 days.
Okay.
And so if you throw under 35 yesterday, then you can come back and throw today, but you can't go over 75 pitches. So the easy example, Crew they took out right at 35 pitches. So he can come back and throw today. He's only got 40 pitches that he can throw on the day. Go with him. So we're going to have to start doing some math, adding the pitches between the 2 days up together.
The 3-1 is up in the count, but he does get Hodson to swing at. It's going to be fouled off the backstop, and that's going to bring up a full count. Nobody out, runner on first for Lone Peak. We're deadlocked 3-3 here in the bottom of the third. You mentioned that there's no time limit in baseball generally. There is a time limit in these games. No new inning after 2 hours. Pickoff move over, and he had a chance. Good slide, though, from Gamble, and he's in there safe. Good move there from Bolander. Running count here with nobody out and bases or full count. Bolander delivers, and I think he got him, and that's going to be the second base runner. And Wasatch puts the first 2 guys on base. The second walk of the game for Bolander. Going to bring up the number 5 hitter who singled up the middle as well. The pitcher, Billings. 3 RBIs on the year.
Yeah, a couple freebies, if you will, where Wasatch had a chance on the first hitter to get him out. Couldn't quite get the clean fielded ball there, Tyler, and then the free pass on the base on balls there on number 2. And Lone Peak's going to try to give Wasatch a dose of their own medicine. Wasatch, again, as I just pointed out, only 2 hits, but it put 3 runs on the board because they've taken advantage of some errors and walks from Lone Peak. Now Lone Peak's going to try to do the same to Wasatch.
Lefty up, bunt situation here with nobody out and guys on first and second. Bolander, 1 look, now 2, now delivers. Fastball on the outside part of the plate, gets it in there for a strike. Billings trying to help himself out on the mound for Lone Peak. Got a little fatigued in that last inning. Gave up 2. Bolander sets. 0-1, delivers. High and outside, brings the count to 1-1. Kelson Stocking behind the dish for the Wasps today, catching for Jackson Bolender. Caught each of his games last year as well for the Wasps as a junior. The 1-1 after 3 looks at second base. Bolander will deliver, but the pitch doesn't count, and the count will stay at 1-1. Still nobody out. Stocking's going to have to take another pause. That's the second time now.
That is a little change here, Tyler, between the last time Bolander pitched. Bolander, Craig McPhee, in his first game of the season. To Kelson Stocking catch him this time. Last year, Stocking was Bolander's catcher in most of his appearances. And so those two have each other with the history between them on the battery.
No look delivery this time. Gets him to go. That ball's going to bounce away, and Lone Peak does not advance on that.
Now, I'm curious to see if they call this.
Did they not call that he went? Oh, he went. Bad miss there, but it moves the count to 2-1. Umpire is behind the mound, so it's not really a good spot for him to take a peek at it. As far as support of the umpire that's behind. Brings the count to 2-1. 2 looks and the delivery. Fastball, good fastball is fouled off, making the count 2-2.
Yeah, that one was crisp. The one he threw about 3 or 4 pitches ago didn't have that kind of velocity. Probably was a little bit lower 80s. That one coming back in the high 80s, Tyler, with the fastball there.
Moves the count to 2-2. Again, nobody out. Runners on first and second. 3-3 the score here in the bottom of the third. Lone Peak scored 3 in the bottom of the first. Wasatch was able to answer in the top half of the second and third. Fastball up in the zone. Misses, and that's going to make the count to 3-2.
Both pitchers in the third inning are missing high with their fastballs, Ty. It's kind of been a consistent theme we've seen in these tournaments. The third and fourth inning is where the pitchers have started to get a little bit tired, and the ball starts to elevate a little bit.
Full count, nobody out. The pitch. Swung on, elevated to left center field. This one's kind of in the Bermuda Triangle, but Payton Swapp's going to be able to come underneath it. Gets the ball in quick, and neither base runner is able to advance. So good job there from Wasatch getting the first out without having the base runners advance.
Yeah, and that's the guy you want to come over and fill that. You talked about the Bermuda Triangle. Probably Payton and crew both could have came over and got that. But you start thinking about the angles of advancement, right? And if the runner's going to tag at second base, Payton Swapp is coming in with momentum behind him. Your left fielder would have to catch and plant and turn. So it's good if Payton is the center fielder with the priority to call off the left fielder and take that ball.
1 out. Fastball off the hands. It's going to be strike 1. Brings up Heaton. Heaton grounded out to the second base. Back covering second base and trying to keep that base runner close. After that swing and after the first at bat, you may want to keep him in the hole and have Carter help out at second base.
Yeah, it's a telling swing. He may try to get his bat started a little early after that late foul ball, though.
0-2, he swings on, gets this one a little bit better. He's still behind it, and it's going to go foul out of play down the right field line, making the count 0-2.
All right, so after 2 swings like that, if you're Jackson on the mound, you're thinking this guy's a little bit behind, and so you don't want to slow the pitch down to give him a chance to get the hands through it. So probably something hard and inside is where you'd want to go if you're Bolander.
Again, runners on first and second, 1 out. 0-2 count right now to Heaton. Playing left field today for the Lone Peak Knights. 2 looks. The 0-2 swung on, and this time he does get a little bit better timing, and he's going to elevate it to right field. Pinter's able to come. Base runner will tag and go from second to third. So 2 outs now, but the runner does advance from second to third, making it now first and third with 2 outs. He's going to bring up Tenney, the designated hitter. He struck out in his first at bat to end the first inning. First and third signals being relayed in by Kelson Stocking.
This is another big pressure moment, right? Keys to the game conversation, Tyler. What do you do with 2 outs in these high-pressure situations? Got to this point yesterday in the 4th inning against Skyline, 2 outs. Wasatch then gave up 13 runs with 2 outs in that inning, and they need to shut it down. You get to 2 outs, that's when you need to get kind of laser-focused here and shut things down. And you got exactly who you would want on the mound to do that in this situation.
Gets a called strike to lead off the at-bat. 0-1 swung on and missed by Tenney.
Missed
Tenney,
badly.
a senior. It was hitting .333 coming into this game. Struck out his first at bat, way behind that fastball there. 0-2, 2 outs. Runners on first and third. Wasatch trying to get out of the inning without giving up a run. Designated hitter up for Lone Peak. 0-2's delivered, just outside, making the count 1-2.
Nice job from Kelson trying to hang back there. Kelson Stocking caught that ball about 6 inches off the plate and tried to funnel it back in towards the mound, or frame it is a term that people like to use a lot there as well. Couldn't get the umpire to bite, though.
1-2. The changeup. Stocking does keep it in front of him. That keeps the base runner at third base, but the runner on first is able to advance to second. And now we have a 2-2 count, 2 outs with runners on second and third. Wasatch had the same situation in the last inning after scoring 2 runs, but weren't able to add to it. Now Lone Peak with an opportunity. 2-2. Bubbles gets the sign. No look. Delivery. Swung on, fouled off. Good fastball up in the zone. Tenney does a good job of getting a piece of it, and that's going to reset the count at 2-2.
Well, his timing wasn't totally on there, Tyler, but he was clearly not fooled by the fastball, which maybe you can get away with the changeup here. You know, see him, he's kind of hunting that fastball, and this might be a time to pull out the changeup and dump it down the outside.
2-2. Hits the outside part of the plate. No, too far off the plate, and that's going to bring up now a full count, 2 outs. Runners on second and third. Went with the fastball. Looked like he hit the glove where he wanted to hit it, but didn't get the call by the umpire. Full count. Does have a base open, so a walk here wouldn't give up a run. The delivery. Fouled off the nub of the bat. That ball was going to be ball 4, but does get enough of it in order to go it up, and it's going to be another timeout from Stocking. Three-man conference here as Chet Wilson from third base is going to come in as well.
Yeah, curious what Chet has to say on this matter as well. Kelson's gone back. Chet's still up there. He's seen something, it looks like, that he wants to talk about over there with Jackson.
Maybe they're just discussing lunch.
could be.
Full
Important
count.
decisions after this one with lunch.
Full count, 2 outs.
Try to come back again with a soft one.
Does so, but misses, and it's going to be a walk, and that loads the bases here in the bottom of the third.
Colmer coming up, 1 for 1 on the game.
Yeah, I had a single up the middle, 286 on the year. No RBIs. Good for Lone Peak. Bubbles comes back with a fastball for strike 1. What's he up to pitch count-wise?
And puts him at 68 here in the bottom of the third. Which, for you math people like yourself, Tyler, that's not ideal.
No.
Over 20 pitches per inning.
0-1 swung on. It's going to be a lazy ground ball to Jack Bluth. He sits back on it, throws it to first base, and Wasatch gets out of the inning with no but runs. Good job from Bubbles. He battles it through as Lone Peak ends the bottom of the third. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, but 3 left on base as we move to the top half of the fourth. Jackson Bolander, Zach Pinner, and Carter Bucad, 7-8-9 up for the Wasps. Start of the fourth brought to you by Wasatch Behavior Health. Was founded in 1967 to provide quality mental health care for all individuals within Utah and Wasatch counties. Wasatch Behavior Health is a comprehensive community behavioral health center. We offer a wide array of programs and services for children is the plural, you don't have to go children's, teens and adults.
At the bottom of the third, Wasatch with the Utah Community Credit Union spark of the game. Utah Community Credit Union proudly serving the Beaver Valley. Stop on in and talk to the UCCU members there, branch manager. Easy in-person and online services for all of your financial needs. UCCU, love where you bank, and getting out of a full or bases loaded jam with 2 outs. Wasatch to see if the can spark them a little bit. And always nice to get Bolander, who's coming off of that energy on the mound, to lead you off here. He's got a 2-0 count right now. The 4th.
Takes a strike, low in the zone, brings the count to 2-1. Bubbles in his first at bat. Had a single through the 3-4 hole, hitting above 500 on the year, 1 RBI and 1 home run. He's now 2 for 3 in this tournament. Swung on and hit right at the second baseman, but that was a good hard barrel. Good exit velocity off the bat, but he goes right to the second baseman. That's how baseball works, right? You have the hard hit that goes right to the second baseman. First at bat, not as hard a hit. They had eyes that got through the infield.
You're right. Out of the 2 balls that should hit, that one's definitely better. Right on the screws there.
It's going to bring up Zach Pinner, 0 for 2 in the tournament. Struck out in his first at bat, 350 on the year. Try to get Wasatch base runner here. He's going to swing and foul this one off. Be big to get a base runner just to get Billings' pitch count up a little bit. You want to get to the bullpen of Lone Peak. It's game 3, so everybody's kind of got some pitching woes, and you'd like to get Billings' pitch count up as well. Comes back with a strike, making the count 0-2.
Well, you're right. At Jackson Bolender, he needs to be aware of that too. When he comes out next inning, you got 9-1-2, third time you're going to start, but you need to keep attacking right away. You just don't have pitches to mess with. You really want to get the next one.
Only got through 4 2/3 in his first outing against Desert Hills a couple of weeks ago. Pinter's going to step out of the box. Billings is going to come with a curveball on the outside part. Lone Peak wanted the called strike, but the umpire disagrees, and that moves the count to 1-2.
That was a pretty good pitch, Ty. Good spot. Must have had him set up on the outside to begin with, though. Catcher didn't have to move his glove very much.
1-2 count. Delivers. That ball's going to hit Zach Pinner, and so Zach Pinner with 2 strikes is going to get a pass to first base, and that's a big 2-strike beanball there as Zach Pinner gets on base.
You're going to get hit. That's the way to do it. Ball hit the ground first, takes most of the blow there. Zach doesn't like to get hit, Tyler. No. He's one that wants to put the bat on the ball. He's not excited to be hit by that pitch, but if you're going to do it, that's the way to do it.
Can get him right around the ankle area, which is always tender.
He's one of those guys, though, any way you can get him on base, it's a win because he's got some speed. So immediate stolen base threat here for the Wasps, or a gap shot. He's got the ability to score all the way from first.
It's going to bring up Carter Bucad. Walked in his first at bat and ended up scoring. 0 for 3 in the tournament so far. Swung on and missed. A little bit, looked like a fastball, but a little bit off. I think there may have been a miss sign on that one. Ty Carter swung.
Yeah, I was expecting a bunt to put down.
Well, in fact, I think it was a steal, and that's why he swung over it. Making the count 0-1. Billings sets, delivers. Off speed this time that gets Carter Bucad fooled, and that's going to move the count to 0-2. Good at bat in his first at bat, was able to draw the walk, and again ended up scoring on that. Takes a deep breath, down 0-2.
Coach Jacobson signaling the hot sign for Pinter to be going on this pitch.
Delivers, Pinter does go, swung on, missed by Bucad. Pitch is down there, does not get in time as Zach Pinter's going to steal second base. However, I think they're going to call him out because Carter swung and went across the plate. So that's going to do it for the top half of the 4th inning. Pinter was able to get on by hit by pitch, but Wasatch still goes down with just 3 hitters. No runs on no hits. Nobody left on base, as that's going to move us to the bottom half of the 4th inning, where Lone Peak will have 9-1-2 up. Wasatch 3, Lone Peak 3.
Baseball in action at Snow Canyon High School. We're heading to the bottom of the 4th inning where the Wasps and the Lone Peak Knights are all tied up 3-3. 4th inning action brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health, founded in 1967 to provide quality mental health care for all individuals within Utah and Wasatch counties. Wasatch Behavioral Health is a comprehensive community behavioral health center. We offer an array of programs and services for children, teens, and adults. That's Wasatch Behavioral Health.
We're in the bottom half of the 4th inning, deadlocked at 3-3. Even with that score, it's kind of been a bit of a pitching duel. Only 4 hits for Lone Peak and only 2 for Wasatch. Wasatch has been able to take advantage of base runners, though. Another foul ball here off the nub of the bat. And that's how we'll get started here in the bottom half of the 4th. Pitch count is into play now for both pitchers. Billings was able to get out of that inning with not a lot of pitches. Bollander close to 70 pitches already in this ballgame. 0-1 gets the bat, and it's now 0-2.
Well,
they get it?
They put a ball there. I thought I heard that.
Hit the bat, Ty. Oh,
we're
hearing
the bat's behind
cages.
us. All right.
1-1.
Just funny timing is all on that.
Making the count 2-1. That was funny because that went right across to where his bat was behind him.
And there was that little
ping.
There
was a little ping, but it is the batting cages that are behind us. 2-1. Fastball smoked right up the middle, at the second baseman, but Jack Bluth able to catch the line drive, and Wasatch for the first time today gets the leadoff guy out.
Bolander, I talked to him 2 days ago, Tyler, and we talked a little bit about pitching and how he's doing this year. And he's kind of talked with the coaches about at the beginning of the year not going over 85 pitches. And that one puts him at 73. And obviously, you can float a little bit around that, but if this goes to a long inning, expect this to be his last one. If he can get out somewhere around the 80-pitch mark, they'll probably run him out for one more.
Misses on the inside. It's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, McChesney, a junior. 1 for 2 today. Had a single and then flew out. He's going to swing at pitch number 2. This one's going to go out towards some people and misses.
Nearly got family out there sitting on a blanket, not watching.
Gone up the middle both times. Had a single up the middle in his first at bat and then flew out to center field in his second that went all the way to the warning track. Swings at this one again, gets it up, and that's going to go foul to the left side as well. A little bit behind the fastball today.
Well, and
heard that he's around 88, 89 a little bit today.
And Ty, it's because he's put into their minds those off-speed pitches, right? This is the group that saw those change-ups at the beginning, and that's in their head now, and the fastball is looking more explosive.
1-2, he gets him to roll over on a nice curveball. It's fielded by Cole Zimmerman, and Wasatch has the first 2 guys out in the bottom half of the 4th. Nice off-speed there.
It's just so effective. What you've got to realize is baseball is a chess game. Right, and you've got to get guys thinking about it, and even the mentally strongest players here, it's hard not to overthink things when it comes to baseball, and Bolender has done a very good job with this top part of the lineup of putting different spots into their mind. Think about it. Fastball should be better this time around.
Misses that one low. It's going to bring up the number 2 hitter, Fry. Walked in his first at-bat, struck out in his second. He's having a good year, though. Was hitting 400 coming into the game with 6 RBIs. The 1-0 swung on up the middle, but Jackson Bollander sticks out the glove. And Wasatch, for the first time today, he gets 1-2-3. That's a big 1-2-3 inning. Should allow Jackson Bollander to trot out there in the 5th. No runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. 3-3 as we go into the top half of the 5th.
What?
Yeah, so let me do Guild Mortgage, and then you do Adoria Stanel. Fifth inning brought to you by Guild Mortgage. Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage and his team will help you find the perfect mortgage that fits your situation. It will be painless and easy.
Time for a Dory Estano scoreboard update. If you're joining us just now, Doctors Doris and Proctor love to make your mouth smile. For more information, visit DoryEstano.com. In the top of the 5th inning, Wasatch and Lone Peak are tied 3-3. Wasatch with 2 hits, 3 runs. Sorry, I'm going to say 5. I'm looking at there, Tyler. Actually here at the park. Single on that Lone for Lone Peak. And we're all tied up, and this is the movement inning. Wasatch with the top of the lineup, all tied up here. And Billings high in his pitch count. Time to make a little bit of a move if you're the Wasps.
Swung on and fouled down the first base side. Crew Erickson on the day, 0 for 1 with the sacrifice bunt. Struck out in his first at bat. 3 for 8 in the tournament so far with 3 extra base hits, 3 RBIs for Crew Erickson. Has 6 RBIs on the season. That's second on the team. The 0-1. Curveball tries to go drag bunt down the third baseline but misses, and now he's down 0-2.
Good idea. Thought he could catch third baseman sleeping, but just kind of took his eyes off of it as pitch to bunt there.
He's going to bring up at 0-2. Fastball swung on, fouled off down to the third base side, and we'll reset at 0-2.
Let's see what Billings has left in the tank here, Tyler. If he wants it, he's gotten Crew on that inside 2-seam fastball. Again here.
0-2. Outside. Ball 1.
I feel like arm angle of Billings. It looks like his arm's getting a little tight.
Yeah.
That one came a little bit more sidearm rather than over the top. And maybe that's intentional. You can get a little bit more tail action when you do that as well.
1-2 off speed. Crew is able to get a piece of it. It's going to get down out behind the shortstop's head in front of the left fielder. Good piece of hitting there from Crew. And I'm just going to talk about the weight room a little bit, Ty. We talk about it a lot in the football side of things, but that's a weight room hit right there. Last year as a sophomore, a little bit lighter and wasn't able to muscle that kind of playing out the bat, just kind of a contact swing. This year he's put on some weight, and that extra weight and the extra strength's able to get that ball elevated over the shortstop's head, and Wasatch has the leadoff guy on.
Let's see how they want to play it. They're going to have check bunt here, make run.
It's going to be a pickoff move. Crew, great speed. There's not many times you see a guy go down the left field line and able to get a triple, and that's what Crew did yesterday. He had a smoked ball down the left field line and was able to still leg out the triple. See if he puts him in motion. Chet, one of your better contact guys as well. Chet's going to square, slash. He's going to go slash and run. Oh, right at the shortstop. Does he get there in time? Yes. And it's a double play with a great pick by Comer at first base. Tough break for the Wasps as that shortstop was covering at second base. And if that is just 6 feet over to the left more, Wasatch is in business with runners on first and third. Instead, Wasatch gets the double play turned.
Yeah, that's tough, Tyler. That's the ball just not bouncing your way because the motion, actually, the hit and run there is what led to the double play. That's probably a single. The shortstop is creeping over to cover with Chet Wilson up as a lefty, and it just kind of moved him right over to where that ball was hit, unfortunately, and that leads to the double play. And that's nobody's fault. It's just how the ball bounces sometimes. And that's just a tough break there because Chet, again, he's on the button there with where he's hitting that.
I thought Crew may have been out at second or been safe at second base.
He was saying that when he was coming in as well, Ty.
Back-to-back curveballs. One called for a strike, one called for a ball. Payton Swapp on the day, struck out, but then had an RBI sac fly to right field in his second at bat, moving the count to 1-1. Swings at a ball low in the count or low in the zone. Don't usually see that out of Payton swinging at pitches out of the zone, but he does there, making the count 1-2. 1-2, way outside, brings the count to 2-2. Tough break for Wasatch there. Looked like they were in business with the leadoff guy on. They tried to slash and run, and Chet had it. It was pretty good barrel on the slash. It wasn't a lazy ground ball, and that actually probably hurt him a little bit. If that's there's so many different things to that play. Good piece of hitting there from Payton though, as he goes in the 3-4 hole, 2-strike approach, and he goes in between the first baseman and second baseman with the curveball. So Payton has his first hit of the game. I want to go back to that thought, Ty. If it's a little bit further to the left, it's a base hit. If it's a little bit softer, Crew is for sure safe at second base. Probably don't have the double play.
Yeah.
Just a really unfortunate situation there on that slash and run.
I think I'd send Payton right here, Tyler. I'd try to get him over.
It's going to bring up Cole Zimmerman. Had an RBI single. Payton is going to go. It's a pitch high. And Payton decides against it. And I think he would have been safe. Well, the catcher saw that he hadn't gone, right?
He slipped a little bit too, Ty. That's why actually, and then didn't like it. And kind of the rules here is you want a good lead, a good read, and a good jump. Those are your 3 rules when you bag down.
Wasatch has been good in getting guys on. It's going to be a pickoff move. Payton's going to get back. Didn't get down. And almost was tagged before he got back to the bag. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Wasatch 3, Lone Peak 3. You're listening to Wasatch High School Baseball on 94.5 The Peak and HeberValleyRadio.com. Payton is going to go on the high leg kick. It's a strike, but Payton's in there safely. So 1-1 count with the guy in second base. Payton Swapp gets a stolen base.
You see a next level athlete there, don't you? Lone Peak with all their good athletic ability. Everyone in the park knows he's going, right? They're going to try to advance him, and Payton still swipes that bag easily, even though everyone knows that he's going to try to make a move.
Billings resets, and he wants to talk to the catcher. This trip to the mound brought to you by Mirror Lake Station, voted best donuts in Utah. Let me repeat that. Voted best donuts in Utah. Mirror Lake Station, your one-stop stop for gas, groceries, and goodies.
That stolen bag is big, though, because that visit, Tyler, is almost certainly because the pitcher and catcher need to talk about signals coming in. Now that you've got a runner on second base, you need to be on the same page. So it throws a pitcher off a little bit more when you get a runner on second.
1-1, curveball in the dirt, makes it 1. Payton doesn't advance on the ball in the dirt.
Pitching so much about rhythm that when you have to slow down, take different looks, go through a series of signs as well, that just little things like that can make a big difference in a ball game. Should get Cole hopefully a little bit better pitch to hit.
2-1, fastball low as well, making the count 3-1.
Cole Zimmerman already has a big 2-out RBI knock in this game. See if he can come through again. One of the more clutch players for Wasatch.
Only 2 of 8 in the tournament, but like you said, that last one was a big one that tied up the game for the Wasps. 3-1, make it ball 4. So now Wasatch with guys on first and second, 2 outs, and it's going to bring up Jack Bluth. Jack Bluth on the day with a walk and a ground out. 2 of 7 in the tournament. 2 RBIs on the season.
I would have loved to see Cole get a pitch that he could hit there, Ty. I feel like Cole is to a point where he's starting to get locked in a little bit more, seeing the ball a little better. And I just feel like he elevates. He's one of those kids that elevates a little bit when it gets to a tight spot and a tight moment. We are going to have a pitching change, it looks like, here.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a break. Lone Peak goes to their bullpen first. Wasatch first and second, 2 outs, tied at 3-3.
Now batting number 2, Jack Bluth.
Oh, Jack, good job.
Bateman is going to come in for Lone Peak in the bullpen. 2/3 innings pitched on the year, 3-1 walk in that appearance. First pitch is going to be swung on by Jack Blue. This ball's well hit to left field. Left fielder's going to fade back and makes the grab. One pitch, and Lone Peak gets out of the inning. Nobody scored. So it's still 3-3 as we go into the bottom half of the 5th inning. We'll go ahead and keep it here. Wasatch, Lone Peak deadlocked at 3-3. Dr. Dorius and Dr. Proctor offer no surprises in dental treatment with Dr. Dorius and Dr. Proctor. Let Dorius Dental make your mouth smile. Learn more at doriusdental.com.
His pitch count limit as well, and we're only into the bottom of the 5th. But they're going to run him out there and try to get him through this final inning, it looks like.
What's he at right now?
79 pitches right now, so he'll probably be done after this one. We'll see. Maybe he'll do a 3-pitch inning and you can squeak one more out of him or something of that nature. But
10:37 is the time. Wasatch began this game at 9 o'clock. You do have a 2-hour time limit. No new inning after 2 hours. So that starts to come into play as well. Bottom of the 5th, 3-3. The score.
Haven't seen any Wasatch players get into the bullpen yet either, Tyler. But as we stretch it in the 5th inning, you know, in the pros they do the 7th inning stretch. In high school, it's the 5th inning stretch. Ty, want to take a Gordon Law Group stat check and break this down. So far, Wasatch has sent 16 official at bats to the plate in this one. Out of those 16 players, 4 have gotten hits. Your base hits in the ball game: Jackson Bolender with a single, Crew Erickson a single, Payton Swapp a single, and Zimmerman a single. No extra base hits for the Wasps so far. 4 hits, 3 runs. Wasatch has 1 error, but the stat to be aware of, they do have 4 base on balls, and they have taken advantage of that. They've also found their way on to 1 Lone Peak error. So even though only 4 hits, they have had 9 base runners.
Number 3 hitter comes up to the plate, Gamble. He's going to take a strike and then swings at the second pitch. Going to be a ground ball. This is Jack Bluth. Jack Bluth fields it clean, throws it to Cole Zimmerman, and for back-to-back innings, Wasatch is able to get the first 2 guys out. Or the leadoff guy out. Lone Peak started the first 3 innings with getting the leadoff guy on. Wasatch has settled down and has gotten the leadoff guy out the last 2 innings. After giving up 3 in the bottom of the first, Wasatch has been able to hold Lone Peak scoreless through the next 3. Change up low, ball 1. The hitter, Hodson Jr., grounded out of the shortstop and walked in his 2 at-bats. 4 RBIs on the year for Hodson, playing third base today for the Knights. Bubbles delivers the 1-0. Fastball off the plate, making the count 2-0.
Looks like Hodson's taking until he gets a strike, Tyler, which I personally like, because you're at a point where if you're following pitch count, you're thinking, I want to get this kid out of the game with Jackson Bolander.
Especially because Lone Peak played after Wasatch yesterday and saw the
bullpen struggles. Yeah.
Skyline, and so you're thinking, yeah, Wasatch has this kid, but let's get to the bullpen. 3-0 count now for Jackson. Delivers the 3-0, and that's going to be high, and it's going to be back-to-back walks for Hodson in this ball game. Puts a guy on first base with 1 out, and that's going to bring pitcher that started, now first baseman Billings. He singled up the middle. His first at bat flew out to center field in his second at bat.
Coach Watkins is going to go down to the bullpen, make sure his bullpen is ready to go. Bolander does hit pitch 85 there on that.
That means you have to wait 3 days, right, to pitch again?
Yep, that's full rest is what they'll say after that.
Guy on first, delivers, swung on. This ball's roped to center field. And Payton Swapp, luckily, is waiting right where he was supposed to be playing as that ball was crushed. But Payton Swapp's able to come underneath it. I don't think that's a fly out. That's a line out to center field, which you don't call very often.
That might be the best hit ball we've seen all year, Tyler. That thing went about 290, 10 feet off the ground, of just a laser out there. Payton nearly overran it coming in on that ball.
It's going to bring up Josh Heaton, the left fielder. He grounded out to the second baseman and then flew out to right field. .071 batting average coming into this game. Bubbles has been able to really overpower him in the ball game, and this would be a big out to get Wasatch out of the 5th with still no runs. Flew out to Zach Pinner last time up. He's going to have a ground ball up the middle, and he squeaks through. That's a big hit there for the left fielder, and it squeaks through for a single, and that's going to bring up Tenney, the designated hitter.
Yeah, it's a seeing eye signal. Is what you call those. Up through about 5 times before it finally got there. Both Bluth and Bucad made a good run at it. Bucad fully extending, but not able to gather that one in.
Stocking's going to pause and come out to the mound, make sure they're on the same page with the guy on second base on their signs inside. Again, about 20 minutes left in the ball game. If you're looking at the time, may be able to get 2 more in, but you're flirting with maybe only getting 1 more inning in here with the time limit. Guys on first and second, 2 outs. Tenney struck out his first at bat, walked his second at bat, has 2 RBIs on the year, looking for an RBI opportunity. Scored deadlocked at 3-3. Bolender, 2 looks, delivers. That's a strike. They're going to try to back pick here at first base, and back in time is Heaton. Called strike 1, making the count 0-1.
Nice little play there put on by Zimmerman and Kelson. See if they backdoor this trail runner of Lone Peak. Nearly got him.
Change up, gets him to swing and miss, and we've now got an 0-2 count here for Jackson Bolander. Bolander is the pitcher DH, so that was something we were talking about with Otani yesterday in the majors, that you can start on the mound, and then when you come out, you become the DH for whoever you put in to pitch. So Jackson Bolander will stay in as a hitter if he is pulled off the mound. The 0-2, 2 outs, delivers. Low, brings back to 1-2. Kelson liked this location, though, and we're going to reset.
You know, if you're Jackson, you know this is probably it for you. And he's got pitch count goes. That was pitch 91, and so you've got a lot available to you. You don't need to worry about setting anything up at this point. You just in your best spot.
1-2, gets him on a high fastball. No, he gets a little bit of a piece. That surprised me that he got a piece of that one, and that's going to reset the count at 1-2.
What you don't want to do is leave a ball over the heart of the plate here at this point. 1-2, runner in scoring position, 2 outs. Kind of work the edges and the black. Move up and down, try to change eye level so that here. Want to go eye levels a little bit on the hitter.
And Tenney's going to step out, taking a little bit too long. According to the gun behind the dish, still throwing in the upper 80s. 2 outs, 1-2 count. Pitches thrown high. They're going to try to back pick again at first base. That one's not close, and it's going to reset at 2-2. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th, 3-3 the score. Runners on first and second here for the Lone Peak Knights. Probably the last inning for Jackson Bolander. After giving up 3 in the first inning, has settled down and has not given up a run since. 2 looks at second. Now he's going to step off the back of the mound.
It's a good spot for a changeup here, probably. 2-2 count.
And another conversation between Bolander and Stocking.
In this
batter. Don't see that often.
Kelson's just going and calling pitches directly, going out and telling him, hey, we're going to do this one.
2-2 count still.
And that could be a little bit from the coaches, too. Remember, the catchers get to wear earpieces this year. And I've seen Coach Jacobson down there with his walkie-talkie messaging in a couple things.
2 looks. 2-2. Delivers. Gets him swinging with a strikeout. Big-time strikeout from Jackson Bolander. Brought to you by Physical at the Fit Stop, your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic, serving you from head to toe, including vertigo to sports injuries. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. We're deadlocked at 3-3 in the top of the 6th.
still
three,
won against
Kelson
number
Stocking.
6A. And that would certainly help boost the morale here. 5.
Kelson Stocking's going to come up to the plate, walked his first at bat, struck out looking in his second at bat. Takes ball 1. In top of the 6th, 3-3. Wasatch deadlocked with Lone Peak. 2-0 count now to Kelson Stocking, the catcher today, senior. On the mound, number 23, Bateman. Takes a strike there, making the count 2-1. Again, Bateman comes into the game. 2/3 innings pitched, gave up 3 hits, 1 walk. ERA is high, let's just say that. 2-1. Hits another spot, making the count 2-2. So after falling down 2-0, Kelson Stocking takes 2 strikes, making the count 2-2. 2-2 count now to Stocking. That's a curveball. Fists it through the 5-6 hole. Talk about a seeing eye single. There we go. A good job there from Stocking. Doesn't give up on the curveball. And Wasatch has their first guy on base.
Yeah, it doesn't get more seeing eye than that, right? That ball probably about 50 to 60 miles an hour exit velocity off the bat. But Tyler Kelson Stocking finding a way to get it done. Just fisting that one right through the shortstop and third baseman. Tragan Shaw is going to come in to run for Kelson.
Now batting number 6.
Tragan Shaw speed up. This isn't a pinch run, so Tragan Shaw still is available to throw on the mound, to go in the outfield, because it's a speed up, so it does not count as an insert into the lineup. He's going to bring up Jackson Bolander. Singled his first at bat, ground out to second base, second at bat. He's going to bunt. He's going to go down the third baseline. We've seen him already with 1 single. Not going to do it here. It's a good sacrifice, and Tragan Shaw gets moved to second base. Good sacrifice bunt there from Bolender, and that's going to bring up Zach Pinter with an RBI opportunity with the guy on second with 1 out.
Well, everything about that play was pretty baseball, Tyler. It's a perfect bunt. Third baseman made a great read, came in and made what was a really good bunt, just looked very casual. He threw Jackson out by a couple steps. Everything was good. Everyone rotating around on Lone Peak to the right spot in that position. So Wasatch executes and moves Shaw over. Lone Peak executes and takes the out.
Good speed by Shaw at second base. Going to bring up Zach Pinter. Struck out his first at bat. Got hit by a pitch. He's going to swing. It's a swinging bunt right to the pitcher. It's going to move Shaw to third base. Ball nearly goes over the first baseman's head. Does advance the runner, but now Wasatch with 2 outs has a guy on third base. And that's going to bring up the sophomore, Carter Bucad. Carter Bucad walked his first at bat, struck out his second at bat.
You know, those are not inconsequential moments, Tyler. Getting a runner over to third base changes the comfort level of a pitcher and a catcher. You feel like there's a little less comfort throwing maybe off-speed pitches or the number 2, number 3 pitch that you're not comfortable with because it could get to the backstop and bring in that run over on third base. So nice job from Pinter to have a productive out and get that runner over to third base.
Interesting here, Ty. Coach Jacobson's going to go to his bench, and we have a pinch hit opportunity for Alex Gutierrez, the junior. Had 1 at bat in the Desert Hills tournament where he walked, and so he's going to come in cold, the junior, to try to get in Tragan Shaw here in the top half of the 6th inning with this score tied at 3-3.
Well, Alex, he's got a nice swing here for Wasatch, Tyler. He works hard in the weight room. He's the junior. He's also maybe the shortest. You can walk up there to the plate, and you might be looking a little bit at a struggle here for the pitcher because he's going to have to change the strike zone a little bit.
Having to take off some tape on the helmet.
Yeah, it looks like they had a point of emphasis a couple years ago in the umpiring about helmets, and you can't have any tape on the helmet because they don't want cracks in there because that can turn into a safety issue. So that's the delay we've got here is Alex had some tape on the helmet.
Which is a little bit of a big deal when you have these time limit games. You're looking at the time a little bit of are they going to be able to play 7 innings. Gets the tape off, and we're ready to go. Guy on third, 2 outs. Alex Gutierrez up for the Wasps. Hitting from the left side of the plate, and he's going to take ball 1.
At bat, number 24, Alex Gutierrez.
Player that, again, has spent a lot of time in the weight room. The 1-0 pitch swung on, fouled right into the catcher's glove, making the count 1-1.
This will likely be a pinch hit, and then Carter Bucad will re-enter into the lineup at shortstop.
Bateman shakes off the catcher. Now resets. The 1-1. Curveball misses on the outside part of the plate, bringing up the count to 2-1. Verdugo, or Verdugi, his nickname for Alex, second baseman. 2-1. Low brings the count to 3-1. Good at bat here from Alex Gutierrez.
Yeah, and
Walk here would bring
picky.
up the top of the order to Crew Erickson.
Yeah, he can be picky here, Tyler. They got to come to you.
3-1 swung on, and it's fouled off into the school down the left side. And we now have a full count with 2 outs.
Well, you would expect a fastball coming back here because Lone Peak knows the top of the lineup is there as well.
Full count swung on, and this is going to be fouled off as well. Goes off of the light pole, and we'll reset. Again, Wasatch 3, Lone Peak 3. Wasatch with a runner on third base with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th, trying to take the lead for the first time in the ballgame. Bateman, wind up, delivers the full count pitch, and it's off the edge of the plate, and Alex Gutierrez earns the walk, and that's going to bring Crew Erickson, the top of the order, up for the Wasps.
See if they're going to have Alex run or if they re-enter Carter right now. Yeah, Coach Jacobson is going to re-enter Carter on this one. So Alex Gutierrez, big spot there for Wasatch. Great at bat. Battles 8 pitches deep and gets the walk.
Well, and it's a big-time walk because you bring up probably your hottest hitter, or at least your second hottest hitter in Crew Erickson, who's got struck out his first at-bat, sacked bunt his second at-bat, then singled to left in his last at-bat, hitting over 400 on the year, 6 RBIs, and he's got a great RBI opportunity
Number
now.
14, Crew Erickson.
Bucad re-enters again at first base, running. Looking at the time, down to 10:53. I think this is going to be it, Ty. So this is a big-time situation here for the Wasps. Bateman sets, takes a peek, delivers, fastball, gets the outside corner, brings the count to 1-0, or excuse me, 0-1.
Crew keeps his hitting streak alive. He's got a hit in every game, hasn't he, Tyler?
I'd have to go back and look.
Out of the 6 games, it's hard to think of a game where he didn't. If he did, it would have been one of the early ones.
And it's a pass ball. Tragan Shaw's coming in quick. The throw not in time. The ball squeaks free, and Wasatch takes the lead 4-3 as Tragan Shaw gets a great jump on the ball that goes to the backstop. And now Crew has an opportunity to give Wasatch a 2-run lead as Carter Bucad moves to second base with 2 outs. 1-1 count. Great jump from Tragan Shaw there at third base to come in for the go-ahead run in what's probably going to be the last inning. Bateman sets, takes a look at Carter, takes a second look, delivers the 1-1, outside, ball 2.
Yeah, we talked, Tyler, you got to go back a couple batters, but that's a Zach Pinter run right there. Zach Pinter, even though it was a swinging little ground out to the pitcher, it was a ball that was an effective at bat that moved Shaw from second to third base. That run doesn't score without that Pinter at bat.
2-1 is swung on. Big swing from Crew. Got a little underneath it, pulled the head a little bit, fouled it off to the behind the backstop, making the count 2-2. 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 outs. Runner on second base. Crew Erickson trying to battle to give Wasatch a 2-run lead after Tragan Shaw scores. This inning began with a single by Kelson Stocking. The 2-2, way high. Brings the count to full.
Well, you got to be a little tempted, knowing this is the last inning, to run Jackson Bolander out there for the final one. He's got 19 pitches available to him still. I don't think they're going to do it, but it would have to be slightly tempting to you to let Jackson go finish it. I might do it if I were the pitching coach, Ty, to be honest.
I know you would do it. Full count. Swung on, fouled off again.
Where he's still hitting upper 80s in the bottom of the 5th. Your bullpen has really struggled to close games down. You've lost 4 in the last inning. And you've got the number 2 team in 6A on the ropes now all of a sudden.
Crew fouls off the full count pitch, and it's going to reset at full. Carter Bucad at second base, 2 outs. Full count pitch, low, ball 4. And Crew Erickson is on base again, first and second, and that's going to bring up Chet Wilson. And if it's not Crew Erickson is the hottest hitter, it's Chet Wilson.
Yeah.
Hasn't had a hit in this game. Reached on an error by the third baseman, then a fielder's choice error, and then grounded out to the shortstop. 7 RBIs on the year for Chet. Leads the team in RBIs, and he's got a chance here. First and second, 2 outs. Wasatch leads 4-3. Pitch swung on, barely missed. He's going to foul that one off.
Chet's been really good, Tyler, in these spots of driving the ball to the left center gap. Center field is shading him a little bit to the right side, and that is a little bit more open here if Chet can stay consistent with that. He's a power hitter to the gaps. He can go left center or right center gap shots. It's a good hitter to have up in this spot.
Falls down 0-1 on the foul ball. Wasatch trying to add to their one-run lead, and because of the time limit, it's probably going to be the last inning. 10:57, no new inning after 2. Up in the zone, ball 1. It's been a good bounce-back game. Really impressed with the way the Wasps have come back, but it's nice to come back with Bollander on the mound, and a gutsy performance after giving up 3, settled down through 4 scoreless innings after that. 4-3 the score, 1-1 pitch, delivered outside, ball 2.
Well, Ty, you're already to this point, though, where you're right. There's no way this inning's going to go to the 7th just because you got to go out and then warm up. Wasatch will have to take their time to get their new pitcher loose.
Swung on again, barely missed. That was the pitch he wanted to hit. His timing's a little bit off.
So what that boils down to is Wasatch is either going to win their first close one or they will have another walk-off if Lone Peak finds a way to get a couple runs. See if they can finally get that close one and get the monkey off their back.
2-2 pitch, swung on, fouled off again. Chet's swinging good pitch, just the timing's just a little bit off in this at-bat. Let's see if he can correct it. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Be nice to maybe get a ball and get Crew running here at first base and go score from first. Left fielder's playing extremely shallow, Ty, on Chet. Chet can go opposite way here. 2-2. Swung on, fouled off, but it's into the catcher's glove. Chet goes down swinging, but Wasatch gets the 1 run they need. They score 1 run on 1 hit. No errors by Lone Peak, leave 2 on base, and Wasatch has 3 outs to get their 2nd win of the season. It's the bottom of the 6th, but this will do it due to time limit. Wasatch 4, Lone Peak 3. Wasatch 3 outs away from their 2nd win of the season. The 6th inning brought to you by Wasatch Back Grill and Deli, a family-owned and operated business that has been serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for the past 7 years.
Ty, in the top of the 6th inning, Wasatch took their 4-3 lead, and you had 2 moments that are going to be our good spot a play of the game for the Wasatch Wasps. I want to start with Zach Pinter, who, a very – this will not be one that he puts on his recruiting video, okay? The at-bat he had a swinging bunt, a ball that went about 15 feet off of but what it did, the runner over from 2nd to 3rd with 2 outs, Pinter 2nd out of the inning, and that proved to be a big deal because 2 batters later you had a pass ball, and Tragan Shaw, official, a good spot day play of the day with this one when he jumped immediately on that pass ball, which was firing back off of the pad on the backstop, but Shaw was able to slide in safely to home to give Wasatch a 4-3 lead going into the bottom of the final inning.
The Wasps are going to turn to Sam Gagan to close this one out. Again, 4-3 the score. last inning. It's the bottom of the 6th, but time limit, this will do it.
8-9-1 coming up here, Ty, for Lone Peak.
The hitter is going to be a pinch hitter, though, number 5. Look at my homework that I did. It's Johnson, 375 batting average, 1 RBI. Junior, no extra base hits on the season. 1-1 pitch. Off speed, up in the zone, making the count 2-1. When Sam came in the second game, who had some trouble with the pitches being elevated, elevates those last 2 here. 2-1, deep breath, delivers, up in the zone again, 3-1. Sam was part of that 5th inning against Skyline, where he had trouble finding some strikes.
Yeah, walked 3 straight guys at 4th inning yesterday.
3-1, and it's ball 4, and they put the tying run on base. Defense stays the same, no defensive subs today for the Wasps. Chet Wilson at 3rd, Carter Bucott at short, Jack Bluth at 2nd, Cole Zimmerman at 1st, and then your outfield, Zach Pinner in right, Payton Swapp in center, and Crew Erickson in left. It's going to bring up the number 9 hitter, Robinson, the right fielder, popped out to center field, and then lined out to the second baseman in his second at bat.
You know, I would have thought bunt here, Tyler, but that lone coach just came in, unless he's kind of really good at bluffing. He just did a signal trying to hide it, saying you're looking for 1 pitch in 1 spot. So it looks like he said take. He is going to square a bunt.
Square, and he misses. Tried to back pick at first base, not in time, but it is 1 strike. That ball was still up in the zone a little bit. I think that's why he missed it.
What he must have been thinking was you're not going to bunt unless it's in this 1 spot.
Yeah.
The pitcher is missing high, and again, Sam missed high, and the kid went after it anyway.
4-3, Wasatch trying to hold on to the 1-run lead here in the last inning. Bounces this one, and there it goes. Runner's going to advance to second base. That bounced over Kelson's head. It's going to bring a trip out to the mound by Coach Watkins.
He spiked it. I mean, that's what you call there. Sam just absolutely spiked that one there. Didn't get near home plate. He's got some nerves. And Ty, he's pitched. This is, I believe he pitched in the first game of this tournament too, right? This is his 3rd game pitching in 24 hours. And so this is a tough spot for Sam to come in and do this. Wasatch still on the hunt for a closer. They need someone who can take that spot and come in and shut it down.
Guy on seconds, the tying run. 1-1 count in the box to the number 9 hitter. You got the leadoff guy coming up after this. JW's going to come back to the mound. 1-1 the count for Sam. You don't want to put the guy on, especially your number 9. But definitely a bunt situation probably at this point, right, if you're Lone Peak?
Yeah, you'd think so. Try to go over third base. But maybe they're a little bit more new school and say we'll take just 3 cracks at it as well.
Kelson's going to take opportunity to signal in bunt coverage.
That could be it, Ty. I mean, you might be thinking if you're Lone Peak here now, we're not just going for the win. So let's take 3 straight shots to try to swing it, see if we can't get the winning run on base.
1-1 count. Couple of looks. Sam delivers high, making the count 2-1. It's been the story of the season so far. Wasatch has been walked off 3 times and lost by 1 run on the other ones. The 2-1 swung on, fouled off, makes the count 2-2. Good pitch there from Sam to come back after 5 straight balls. Brings the count to 2-2. Say 5 straight balls. The 1 other strike was a missed bunt on a ball out of the zone. Guy on second base is the tying run. Nobody out. 2-2 count. Sam, 1 look, delivers the 2-2 up in the zone, ball 3.
Both teams on the edge of the dugout bar here, Tyler. Very much engaged in this one. This one's got a great energy.
Full count. Delivered up in the zone, ball 4. That's going to be back-to-back walks here for Sam in the bottom of the 7th. We'll call it the bottom of the 7th. Coach Jacobson's going to have a quick hook on this one. He's not going to mess around, and he just pointed to the bullpen. And we haven't seen anybody go out there, so this will be interesting to see who he goes with here, and it's going to be Garrett Baxter. First appearance for Garrett. Garrett was probably penciled in to be your Game 4 starter. We'll go ahead and take a break. When we come back, runners on first and second. Wasatch trying to hold on to the 1-run lead. Welcome back to the bottom of the 6th. This is the last inning due to time limits. 4-3. Wasatch with a 1-run lead. They just need 3 outs to get their second win of the season, their first win of the Snow Canyon tournament. But back-to-back walks to start off this inning has Lone Peak in business with the tying run at first and the winning run at first, and it was the 8-9 guys is who they walked, and that brings up the top of the order, McChesney. Single in the first, fly out in the second at bat, and then a ground out to first base in the third. It's going to bring in Garrett Baxter.
Well, Chat's got to be ready to crash here on a potential bunt. Zimmerman, they got to read this. He's going to swing. I can't believe they're letting him swing.
Well, and I don't think Garrett got the symbol. I think that was a pickoff move at second base, but they don't get it. Do they call it a strike? No. Low in the count, ball 1. Chet crashed, and Carter was heading to short, so usually you have your second baseman come back door to try to get a pickoff move. First and second. Nobody out, ball 1. Baxter sets, looks at the runner at second, delivers, fastball. It's elevated down the left field line, but it's in a circle and curve foul, making the count 1-1. Baxter is the only pitcher with a win this year for the Wasps. He threw against Carbon and got the victory in that one. Comes back with a strike there, 1-1 the count.
And all you're asking them to do here is come in and throw strikes.
Yep.
Right? You say, come in. If they're going to beat us, they're going to do it putting the ball in play.
First and second, 1-1. The pitch. It's a bunt down the third baseline. Baxter's going to field it and doesn't know where to go with it. And that's going to make the bases loaded. Nobody out. Nice bunt from McChesney. And just like that, Lone Peak has the bases loaded and the winning run is on second base. Wasatch is going to have to bring it in. It's an interesting choice. Go for the win here. Cut it off and try to get him at home. 4-3 the score. Nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. He's going to bring up Fry.
Now batting number 10.
Second baseman,
Jordan
senior.
Fry.
Got 6 RBIs on the season. Struck out in his second at bat and grounded out to the pitcher. Be a great ground out of the pitcher right now. Would be big. Fastball inside part of the plate, but misses on the inside, making the count 1-0.
That was a bunt. You did have a chance at third base. Garrett unfortunately swung around, Tyler, on the opposite side of where you need to if you're going to turn and fire to third base. And then he got caught in no man's land, not sure where he wanted to go with the ball.
Low fastball swung on and smoked, but again it's foul, making the count 1-1. So far Baxter's done what you said, Ty. He's come in, he's thrown strikes. See if Wasatch can get the ball to bounce their way here. Hard ground ball anywhere, you got to go home. Try to get that tying run at home. In outfield playing a little bit shallow. It's a good swing there from Fry. Looked like he had Garrett timed up pretty good. 1-1 the count. Nobody out. Tying run at third, winning run at second here in the bottom of the 7th. 1-1. Swung on, smoke down the line. Is it fair? Yes, they call it fair. And Lone Peak is going to get a walk-off victory once again as Wasatch loses in the last inning 5-4 on the double down the line by Lone Peak. Wasatch falls to 1-6 with another 1-run loss. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have your Ace Timberline postgame show after this. Welcome back. Wasatch does it again. Loses in the last inning on a walk-off by 1 run. Lone